Today I want to talk to you about paying for physical therapy school. Hi, my name is Katrina Shaw. I'm one of the co-founders of Admissions Highway, a company whose sole purpose is getting pre-PTs and prospective applicants into physical therapy school. If this is your first time visiting our page, I ask that you subscribe below and join our team. So let's talk about some of the ways to pay for physical therapy school. Many of you are going to want to work throughout school. Many of you are going to try to get jobs. Many of you are going to have jobs before. However, most physical therapy schools do not allow you to work and or strongly discourage you from working. A lot of them do this because the caseload or the work caseload is so intensive that you really won't have time to work, especially in your first year, maybe even your second year. So, how do I pay for PT school if I can't work? Well, some schools also provide the option of working for the school, like a work study where you're tutoring students below you or cleaning up the lab, doing laundry. Some schools working in the office. So some schools will have what we call postgraduate internship, postgraduate jobs where you can work through school, but it's not your full 40-hour a week or your part-time job where you're off campus working extensively. People also take the option of signing a contract before they come into physical therapy school, where a company says, once you complete school and successfully pass the boards, you can come work for us and we'll front the cost of some of your schooling or some of your education, whether that be paying for books, whether that be tuition reimbursement. The only problem that I've seen with some of these programs is that you get what we run into called PT burnout. So because you're essentially indebted to this company, you end up getting all kind of patients or getting an abundance of patients in your first year, and it burns you out. And you don't necessarily get quality patients, so just be very mindful of which companies you are. If you decide to take this route, be mindful of the company you're going to work for. Know their morals, know their values, know their ethics. Make sure they line up with the type of therapist you want to be, so that if you do decide, all right, I'm going to let this company pay for me to go to school, that when you go to work for them, that is really something you enjoy and that the relationship is mutually beneficial, so that you're not getting burnt out. So the second option is to allow a company or go ahead and contract with the company prior to going to school to help offset some of the costs of physical therapy school. So the third and most obvious option, of course, is going to be your student loans. Student loans, student loans. Some of you have had to take out student loans while you were in undergrad, so you already have student loans and you don't want to add to them. Or you've already taken out an excessive amount of student loans for undergrad and you don't want to take out more for graduate school. The reality is a lot of us will have to take out student loans to pay for school. So knowing that going into school, there are some things you should be mindful of when you get ready to take out student loans. You need to be mindful, one, of the interest rate that you're going to be paying on these loans. You also need to be mindful of if you're taking out I've taken out loans just to max out, or if you're taking out loans to cover what you need to cover. So if you decide to get option A that we talked about, in which case you're working on campus and that's offsetting some of your loans, or you apply for scholarships and that's offsetting some of the amount for physical therapy school, then you won't need to take out as many loans. So I think with taking out loans versus just blanket statement of saying, yes, take out student loans, the reality is you should just be educated on how much you're taking out in student loans, know why you're taking out those student loans, know what you intend on covering with those student loans, and have a plan for repayment after graduation. And that way it won't be so nerve-wracking, or you won't feel so bad about taking them out, because they are a reality for some of us who don't have parents or who don't have funds otherwise set aside. The last option is just make sure you get a job. We know we're going to grad school. We know we're applying for physical therapy school. So a lot of you are applying, and it takes about a year to get into school. So one of the things you can do, knowing that you're getting ready to go into school, is to get a job, start saving, start allocating funds to a savings account to say, this is where I know I'm going to live, this is how much it costs. And that way, when you get into school, you're not scrambling to find funds to cover stuff that you already have money set aside for. As always, if this video has been beneficial to you, or you've learned something from it, or you know someone who benefit from it, please share this video.